Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. They will continue our lab, the Matrix lab. It's the video number 119. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have opened a new topic concerning how we can troubleshoot Windows using different remote tools. For example, the first tool is command shell uh, commands or PowerShell commands. There is different ways you can connect remotely to troubleshoot Windows. Okay, there is graphical interface tools. There is command utilities that you can use to connect remotely to a machine, and most of the IT prefer the command tools to connect remotely, something like PowerShell remoting or command prompt remoting. Okay, so this is very useful and very time saving, and sometimes it's also used especially PowerShell for automating or creating scripts that automate different actions during the IT operation. Okay, so we have discussed in the previous video how or what are these tools. We have discussed it or make Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Gemini to explain this topic and give us exercises or hand-on exercises to see how we can implement these tools or using these tools in practical examples. Uh, my reference for discussing this topic is Mr. Low van der Poel videos concerning remote tools, and I have also said in the previous video the name of the video that I used from his channel, which is Tech Savvy Production, and he have two PDFs that also contains a lot of useful information concerning this topic. And I have already fed up Claude 3.5 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini with these PDFs and asked it to explain the topic through these PDFs. So the previous video I have stopped at exercise uh, using PowerShell remoting, how we can use PowerShell remoting to access machines remotely to solve a problem. So let's try to read this exercise. Let me give you, or let me read it out loudly and see the case here. And there is another case for spooler. Let me just see, this is exercise 5 and this is exercise 6. I think uh, maybe you don't need, so this is the last two exercises. I think they are good. Let's read them loudly and see how we can benefit from such remote tools.
Exercise 5. Using PowerShell remoting. Objective. Learn to use PowerShell remoting to execute commands and scripts on a remote computer. Scenario. You need to retrieve the IP configuration of client 06 and disable a specific network adapter. Step-by-step instructions. Enable PowerShell remoting. If not already enabled on client 06, you might need to do this locally or via SecSec if you can't use WinRS. Run the following command in an elevated PowerShell. Enable PS remoting force. Use code with caution. PowerShell. On your client machine, open PowerShell as an administrator. Enter a remote session. Enter PS session. Computer name client 06. Credential domain /administrator. Use code with caution. PowerShell. You will be prompted for the password. Once connected, you're effectively working inside a PowerShell session on client 06. Run. Get net IP configuration. Use code with caution. PowerShell. This will display the IP configuration. To disable a network adapter, replace Ethernet with the actual adapter name. Disable net adapter, name Ethernet, confirm, $false. Use code with caution. PowerShell. The confirm, $false suppresses the confirmation prompt. Exit the remote session. Exit PS session. Use code with caution. PowerShell. Expected outcome. You should see the IP configuration of client 06 and the specified network adapter should be disabled. Verification steps. Verify the output of GetNet IP configuration. Connect to client 06 using winners or another method, and check the status of a network adapter. Exercise 6. Troubleshooting a service remotely. Objective. Learn to check the status of service on a remote computer and start, stop, or restart it. Scenario. The print spooler service on client 07 has stopped, and users can't print. Step-by-step instructions. Open PowerShell as an administrator. Check the service status. Winners are client 07, domain /administrator SC query spooler. Use code with caution. PowerShell. If the service is stopped, start it. Winners are client 07, domain /administrator SC start spooler. Use code with caution. PowerShell. Alternatively, you could restart it. Winners are client 07, domain /administrator SC stop spooler and SC start spooler. Use code with caution. PowerShell. Expected outcome. The SC query spooler command should show the service status. The SC start or SC stop and SC start commands should change the service state. Verification steps. Rerun SC query spooler to confirm the service is running. Try printing from client 07 if a printer is configured. Bonus.
So this is the two exercises, and the bonus, there is a bonus exercise here. We can read it loud. This is also a good exercise. Let's see what is the bonus. So I asked him to provide 6 hand-on exercises and a bonus challenge. Let's see also this exercise. I think it is useful.
Bonus challenge. Automated script for multiple machines. Objective. Create a PowerShell script to check the status of a specific service on multiple computers and generate a report. Scenario. You need to check the status of the Windows Update service on all client machines in your domain, client 01 through client 10. Step-by-step instructions. Create a new text file named checkservicestatus.ps1. Paste the following PowerShell script into the file. $computers equals at client 01, client 02, client 03, client 04, client 05, client 06, client 07, client 08, client 09, client 10. Hashtag list of computer names $service name equals wazerv hashtag Windows Update service name $results equals at for each. $computer in $computers. Try $status equals invoke command. Computer name $computer. Credential domain /administrator. Script block get service. Name $using. Service name select object machine name status $. Results plus equals $status. Catch of $results plus equals PS custom object. Add machine name equals $computer name equals $service name status equals error. $_. Exception. Message $results format table. Auto-size hashtag display results in a table $results export CSV path the /service status report.csv. No type information hashtag export to CSV. Use code with caution. PowerShell. Replace the computer names, service name, and domain with appropriate values. Save the file. Open PowerShell as an administrator and navigate to the directory where you save the script. Run the script. /checkservicestatus.ps1. Use code with caution. PowerShell. Expected outcome. The script will connect to each computer in the $computers array. It will retrieve the status of the Windows Update service. The results will be displayed in a table in the PowerShell window. A CSV file named Service Status Report.csv will be created in the same directory, containing the results. Verification steps. Review the output in the PowerShell window. Open the Service Status Report.csv file and check the results. These exercises provide a practical foundation for remote troubleshooting using the command shell. Encourage the junior administrators to experiment, explore the help for each command, and adapt these examples to other scenarios they encounter. The key is to practice, practice, practice.
So this is the exercises for Gemini, and then we will go to another way to explain this topic using a learning dialogue. And this is the prompt I give Gemini and Claude 2 create a dialogue to explain the remote tools uh, uh, to explain the remote tools, and the dialogue it is between a senior IT and the junior IT. We can see here this is the prompt is a little bit long, but it contains or it gives us a very good dialogue. Okay, contains a lot of useful information. For example, here asking him to create the two characters, the senior to have certain characteristics and the junior to have a certain characteristics, and then we will have the narrative of the dialogue framework or the narrative dialogue or how the dialogue will go or the structure of the dialogue. Okay, choose one or create your own. The unexpected crisis, the impossible deadline, the mystery bug, the legacy system, the innovation challenging, the mentor's final test. So these are all frameworks, or this is how the dialogue will go. Okay, I actually when I give him the prompt, he already choose one of them automatically. Okay, so these are all dialogues we can benefit from. Okay, for example, the unexpected learning happens during an actual emergency. So for example, using remote tools during an emergency, this is how the dialogue will be created. An impossible deadline, a major project with tight timeline drives urgent upskilling. So for example, there is a project that need to be finished, okay, and you use remote tools to finish this project. The mystery bug, investigating a strange technical problem, reveals deeper concepts. So these are all types of dialogues that we can use to explain the topic of remote tools. This is the dialogue techniques, dynamic interactions. So these are all how the dialogue will go. Technical demonstrations, creative teaching methods, unexpected analogies, physical demonstrations, storytelling, collaborate discovery. So this is how the dialogue will go, and I think when I show you the result, it's very, very good. Technical authenticity with practical code examples. As we can see here, we will have, for example, CMD, PowerShell batch, and the structure of the scene structure or the dialogue structure. As we can see here, it is putting it in certain levels or putting it in certain phases, and at the end I asked it to give us a virtual lab demonstration. So there is a case or the dialogue will discuss the topic, and then we will give us a virtual lab to implement what was discussed in the dialogue. Okay, so as you can see here, a very, very long prompt, but actually the result is very, very good. So let's go and see when I asked Claude to uh, do this all troubleshooting by remote administration, a master class in Command Shell. This is a dialogue between a senior IT, which is named Victor, and a junior IT, which is named Maya. Let's see this case and how it can explain remote tools uh, and using them to troubleshoot problems. Let's go and see the case. It's a long one, but actually it's a very, very good one. If you go there and try to read it out loudly, let's go first and continue with the case. So here we go, we can go and then uh, here let's see integration. So server monitoring script. So here I will stop at this point and let's read this case. Actually, I will not go with the virtual lab setup. Actually, I only go with the case and how they solve it, and then you can guys do this or try to simulate this dialog case in a lab. Let's try read and see.
And apply to countless scenarios. Scene 7. Virtual Lab Setup Guide. Troubleshooting by Remote Administration, a masterclass in Command Shell. Characters. Senior IT Administrator. Victor, a methodical 25-year veteran who started his career in the MS-DOS era. Victor collects vintage computing hardware and peppers his explanations with computer history references. Known for his comprehensive documentation habits and somewhat skeptical view of GUI tools, real admins use the command line. Victor approaches problems systematically and expects the same from others. Junior IT administrator. Mia, a former graphic designer who switched to IT 3 years ago. Mia thinks visually and learns best through metaphors and diagrams. She's quick and enthusiastic, but sometimes rushes ahead before fully understanding concepts. She's drawn to automation to free up time for creative problem solving and is working on a personal project to build a remote troubleshooting toolkit. Scene 1. The Hook, emergency at dawn. 7:15 a.m., Friday morning. The office is nearly empty as most of the IT department is at an off-site training event. Mia arrives early to catch up on documentation when her phone rings. Mia, juggling her coffee and phone. IT support, this is Mia speaking. HR director, voice stressed. The payroll server is down. Today is payday and nothing is working. The finance team will be in soon and they need to finalize everything by 10 a.m. Mia, I'll look into it immediately and get back to you. And call size great. Just great. She dials Victor, who was supposed to be at the offsite but stayed behind with a cold. Victor, congested voice, let me guess, something's broken. Mia, the payroll server is down and everyone else is gone. I'm still getting comfortable with remote administration. Victor, perking up despite his cold, perfect timing. I've been meaning to show you the power of command line remote administration. Meet me in the monitoring room in 5 minutes later. Monitoring room. Multiple screens showing server dashboards. One is flashing red. Payroll, SRV01, connection lost. Victor, settling into his chair with a steaming mug of tea. So the payroll server is down, the finance team is coming in, and we need to fix it without leaving this room. Good morning to you too. Mia, anxiously, do we need to call someone in from the retreat? Victor, smiling slightly, not at all. This is the perfect opportunity to show you why I keep insisting everyone learn proper command line administration. When GUI tools fail, command line is often still available and much more powerful once you know what you're doing. Mia, doubtful, but can we really troubleshoot everything remotely through commands? I usually remote in with the GUI tools. Victor, GUI tools are fine when they work, but they're just pretty interfaces over the same commands we'll be using today. Think of it like being a photo editor. You can use presets in the software, or you can understand how layers and masks actually work, which give you more control. Mia, perking up at the design reference, the fundamentals, obviously. Victor, exactly. And today, I'll show you how Command Shell Mastery is a fundamental IT skill that will save you countless hours, starting with this payroll server crisis. Let's check what we're dealing with. Scene 2. The foundation, command syntax basics. Victor, typing at his terminal. Before we try accessing the payroll server, let's review some command line basics. Think of command syntax as the grammar of a language. If you don't use the right syntax, the computer won't understand you. Mia, taking out her notebook. What should I know first? Victor, command line interfaces are unforgiving. Precision matters. Unlike humans who can understand you even if you mix up words, computers need exact instructions. Coughs, sorry. Let's start with a question. What's the difference between PowerShell and Command Shell? Mia, they're both command line tools? PowerShell is newer, I think. Victor, both are command line shells, but with key differences. The command shell, Command EXE, is the classic Windows command interpreter. PowerShell is both a shell and a scripting language built on .NET Framework. It's now cross-platform and open source. Mia, so which one should we use today? Victor, for remote administration, we'll use both. Some tasks are simpler in CMD, others in PowerShell. Let's first connect to a working server to practice before tackling payroll. Victor types a command. Copy. Ping file SRV02. The screen shows. Copy. Pinging file SRV02 192.168.10.45 with 32 bytes of data. reply from 192.168.10.45. Bytes equals 32 time equals 2 mstTL equals 128 reply from 192.168.10.45. Bytes equals 32 time equals 2 mstTL equals 128 reply from 192.168.10.45. Bytes equals 32 time equals 2 mstTL equals 128 reply from 192.168.10.45. Bytes equals 32 time equals 2 mstTL equals 128 ping statistics for 192.168.10.45. Packets. Sent equals 4, received equals 4, lost equals 0, 0% loss. Approximate round trip times in milliseconds. Minimum equals 2 milliseconds. Maximum equals 2 milliseconds. Average equals 2 milliseconds. Victor. Good. This server is responsive. Let's connect to it remotely. We'll use Windows Remote Shell, WinRS. Mia. Is that like SSH for Linux? Victor. Similar concept. WinRS lets you execute commands on remote Windows computers. Its basic syntax is copy. Winners are URL, username, P, password command. Victor, I'm going to connect to file, srv02, and run a simple command. Copy. Winners are file, srv02cmd. A new command prompt appears. Copy. Microsoft Windows, version 10.0.190.4.2.985, file, srv02c:\/ users / vadmin. Victor, see that? We're now remotely connected to file srv02. Let's check something basic. Copy. drc:\/ Output shows the directory listing of the C drive on the remote server. Mia, that's actually pretty straightforward. Victor, now let's talk about command syntax fundamentals. This is where most people get confused. In documentation, you'll see notation like brackets, braces, and pipes. Each has a specific meaning. Mia, those little symbols always confuse me in the help files. Victor, they're actually a precise language. Let me explain. Text without brackets or braces. Type this exactly as shown. Text inside square brackets. These are optional items. Text inside braces. You must choose one of these options. Vertical bar separates mutually exclusive choices. Text inside angle brackets. Replace this with your value. Space. Spaces matter in command syntax. Let's look at a real example. Here's the check disk command syntax. Copy. Check disk, volume, path, file name, /f/v/r/x/i/c/l size /b. Mia looks overwhelmed. That's a lot of symbols. Victor, let's break it down. Check disk must be typed exactly. The volume, path, and file name are all optional. That's why they're in square brackets. The parameters like /f/v, etc. are also optional. Mia, so I could just type check disk by itself? Victor, exactly. That would run a basic check without repairing anything. Or you could add parameters. Copy. Check disk C/F. This means check disk C and fix errors. The beauty of command line tools is their versatility through parameters. Mia, starting to get it. So for WinRS, the R part specifies the remote computer. Victor, precisely. You're getting the syntax patterns. Now, let's check if we can reach the payroll server at all. Copy. Ping payroll, SRV01. Output shows request timed out. Victor, as expected, it's not responding to ping. But that doesn't mean we can't try other approaches. Let's check if we can see it from another server. Scene 3. The challenge escalation. The mystery deepens. Victor, let's use our connection to file, SRV02, to check if it can reach the payroll server. Copy. Winners are file, SRV02 ping payroll, SRV01. Output shows successful pings. Mia, surprised, it works from file SRV02. What does that tell us? Victor, good question. It suggests the payroll server is running, but there might be a network issue between our workstations and that server. Let's dig deeper. Mia. So we'll use file srv02 as a jumping point to reach payroll. Victor. Exactly. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful concepts in command line administration, command chaining. This is how we can run multiple commands, either sequentially or conditionally. Mia, like running commands one after another? Victor, yes, but with more control. There are several ways to chain commands. Sequential processing with and command 1 and command 2 runs command 2 immediately after command 1, regardless of success. Conditional processing with and command 1 and command 2 runs command 2 only if command 1 succeeds. Conditional processing with command 1 command 2 runs command 2 only if command 1 fails. Grouping with parentheses, command 1 and command 2 and in command 3 runs command 3 only if both command 1 and command 2 succeed. Mia, drawing a diagram in her notebook, so it's like creating decision trees for the computer to follow. Victor, excellent way to think about it. Now, let's use conditional processing to investigate our payroll server. First, let's see if the C drive on payroll has disk issues. Copy. Winners are file srv02 winners are payroll srv01 check disk C. Output shows. Copy. The type of the file system is NTFS. Warning, F parameter not specified. Running check disk in read-only mode. Stage 1, examining basic file system structure. Stage 2, examining file name linkage. Stage 3, examining security descriptors. Errors found. Check disk cannot
So I think here there is a problem. Here he need to make conditional processing. I think he need to have and. He forgot to add the and. So I think here he will connect to the file server, okay, and then from it he will connect to the payroll server and check disk. So I think you need to have and after that. So let's continue the case.
continue in read-only mode. Mia, eyes widening disk errors. That could explain why the server is unreachable. Victor, good catch. Now I need to run check disk with the /f parameter to fix errors, but that requires a restart. Let's use what we've learned about.
So he's talking about disk errors. I don't think disk error can help us not reach it or reach it from our workstation. We can reach it from another server, but strangely he's saying that the disk errors cannot make us reach it from a workstation. I don't know if this is correct or not. He's saying disk errors. This could explain why the server is unreachable, but you can reach it from another server. Let's try to read the case and continue with the case.
About conditional processing to make this efficient. Copy. Winners are file srv02 winners are payroll srv01 check disk C/f/v and shutdown /r/t60/c check disk scheduled. Server will restart in 1 minute for disk repairs /. Mia, whoa, that's a complex command. What does each part do? Victor, let's break it down. We're connecting to file srv02 first. Then from there, connecting to payroll srv01. We're running check disk with /f to fix errors and /v for verbose output. If check disk succeeds and we schedule a restart in 60 seconds with a message. Note.
Just wait for a moment. I think here, where is the and? Okay, so there is the and here. So this is all one commandlet, okay, and then and. This means that this should be successfully done before shutting down. Okay, that's correct.
Note how I escaped the quotes inside the command with backslashes. Mia, looking impressed, so the server will only restart if check disk successfully schedules the repairs. That's elegant. The command runs and shows that check disk will run on next restart, and shutdown begins. Victor, now the server will restart and automatically run check disk. This might take a while, so let's use this time to dive deeper into command line administration. Scene 4, Guided Practice, Remote
I
Diagnosis.
need to do something here. I am not sure if disk errors can lead to a server unreachable. Let me try to ask AI tools about this issue. I need to ask Grok. Or let's not go to Grok, let's go to Perplexity. Okay, I can't reach or can't ping a server from my workstation, but when I connect remotely using WinRM and then issue a ping to the unreachable server, I can ping it successfully. My IT said this phrase. Is he correct? Is she correct? Let's try to see if he will answer this and see if it's correct or not. So this is not correct. You can ping the server from your workstation, but access will ping it from connected remotely. Ping it when connected remotely via WAN, and this suggests the server is operational and its network stack is functioning. The ability to connect via WAN indicates that there is a network path between your workstation and the server, but directly ISMP ping is being blocked. This is not the case, okay? While disk errors can cause severe issues, they typically don't result in specific behavior you are experiencing. This problem would more likely cause issues with server functionality, not selective network reachability. So here he is talking about here the case that when he connect to a server and try to ping it, uh, then this is not the case. Okay, so the disk errors is not the case. Okay, so this is not actually the case at all. Okay, so we can go ahead with the scenario, but actually This is not a logical thing, okay? The disk errors could not be the issue of we cannot reach it from our workstation. So let's continue with the case and see, but actually it's very uh, uh, very structured, okay? But actually this is very weird. How why cannot reach it from my workstation, but I can reach it from another server, okay? But let me here say something to it. I ping from another server successfully to the unreachable server connected to it by WinRM. I ping from another server successfully connected to it by WinRM to the unreachable server. Let's see how he will. If you can ping the unreachable server from another server that is connected to it via WinRM, this further supports the idea that the issue is not the server itself, but rather the network path or configuration. So this is Victor says that we have a problem with the path of our workstations. If you go to Victor saying, if you go again and see what Victor says, he's saying that we have a problem. If we go further again and say what Victor says, so let's go further again and see this case when he was able to uh, let's see when he was able to ping the server. Let's see here when he connects to the file server and try to ping payroll server from it. He say it's working. Good question. So the payroll is running, but there might be a network issue between our workstations and the server. So this is the real situation, or this is the real scenario. We have a problem. Maybe there is a firewall issue or something. This is the case. But Maya is actually it is not. This is not the case, or this she is saying that disk errors. This could explain why the server is unreachable. Good catch. But I think here Vector is wrong in this situation. So this could not be the case. We have errors, but I think the check desk will not solve it. But let's continue with the case and see how we can benefit from the different things or the different remote commands we are discovering.
Troubleshooting by remote administration.
Sorry, I think here you will go again from the beginning. Let's go and read from the part that we have stopped at, where it is. I think this is the case.
Scene 4. Guided practice, remote diagnostics. Victor pulls up another terminal window while they wait for the payroll server to restart and repair. Victor, while we wait, let's practice remote diagnostics on our file server. Real mastery comes from understanding what's happening under the hood. Mia, what kind of diagnostics can we run remotely? Victor, almost anything you can do locally. Let's check the system event logs to see if there were any warnings. Copy. Winners are file srv02 webtotal QE system /c 5/rd true/f text. Output shows the 5 most recent system events. Mia, what does each part of that command mean? Victor, webtotal means query event System is the log name /c. 5 limits to 5 events /rd. True means reverse direction, newest first, and /f. Text specifies text format. Event logs often contain early warnings of problems. Mia, can we check performance stats too? Like CPU and memory usage? Victor, absolutely. For quick checks, we can use the typeperf command. Copy. Winners are file, sarvivro2 typeperf \processor underscore total \% processor time \memory \available M bytes SC1. Output shows current CPU usage and available memory. Copy. PDHCSV 4.0 \file sarv02 processor underscore total \% processor time \file sarv02 memory available M bytes 03/16/2025 07:45:32.823 5.724 4012.000. Victor, for more detailed performance analysis, we can use the performance monitor data collector sets, but that's a topic for another day. Mia, checking her phone, the finance team just messaged me. They're getting anxious. Victor, let's check if payroll SRV01 is back online yet. Copy. Ping payroll SRV01. Output shows successful responses. Victor, great. The server is responding. Now let's check if the disk errors were fixed. Copy. Winners are payroll SRV01 check disk. Output shows the disk is clean. Mia, relieved, so the disk check fixed it? Victor, looks like it. But let's make sure all the necessary services are running. Copy. Winners are payroll SRV01 SC query SQL Server payroll. Output shows. Copy. Service underscore name MS school dollar parole type 10 win 32 underscore own underscore process state 1 stop win 32 underscore exit underscore code 0 0x0 service underscore exit underscore code 0 0x0 checkpoint 0x0 wait underscore hint 0x0. Mia, the SQL Server service is stopped. That's why payroll isn't working.
So this is another twist. Okay, so they say that they are not working. Okay, so this is not related to the ping. I think even if the SQL Server service is not running, so they cannot connect to it, but they can ping it. And actually, I don't see a relation between not able to ping and between disk errors. Okay, so again, let's uh, try to ask AI tools again. Is there a relation between not able to ping and disk errors on remote machine? Okay, there is no direct or inherent connection between a remote machine inability to respond to ping requests and disk errors. However, certain scenarios can create an indirect relation between the two issues. Impact of disk error on system functionality. Severe disk errors on a remote machine can lead to system instability, including network-related services failing to operate correctly. For example, if an operating system or critical service are unable to load due to disk corruption, the machine may fail to respond to ping requests. It doesn't respond from my workstation, but it responds from another server. So this is the actual, or this is the only dilemma I cannot comprehend. How we cannot ping from my workstation, but I can ping from another server. So this clearly may be related to my firewall or something. Okay, disk errors might also prevent proper logging or troubleshooting of network issues. Firewall or configuration, this is the most often caused by a firewall. These are unrelated to disk health but could coexist with disk errors if the system is generally misconfigured or poorly maintained. System resource overload, if a machine experiencing a high resource usage due to disk errors, it might prioritize responding to ping requests. So this can be a case, but again, this does not say why I cannot ping from my workstation. Okay, remote machine offline. Okay, troubleshooting anyway. So there is no direct relation between we're not able to ping due to disk errors, and actually if there is disk errors I will not be able to ping it from my workstation or even from another server. Okay, so this is one weak point in the situation as a whole. And again, here the problem that the finance is not able to work, not because we cannot ping the server, but because the SQL Server service is not working. So the server is not down. Now we can actually say that the server, or the problem that the server is online but the SQL Server service is not running. So let's continue with the case.
Working. Victor, good catch. Let's start it and set it to automatic startup for the future. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01SC config, SQL Server, payroll. Start equals auto winners are payroll, SRV01SC starts SQL Server, payroll. Output shows the service starting successfully. Victor, note the space after start equals. That's one of those syntax details that matters. Command line parameters often have specific formatting requirements. Mia, excited. Wait, let me try checking if it's running now. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01SC query, SQL Server, payroll. Output shows the service is now running. Mia, it worked. But why did the SQL service stop in the first place? Victor, good question. Let's check the SQL Server error log. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01 type, C:\program, whitespace files \Microsoft whitespace, SQL whitespace, server \MSSQL 15, .payroll \MSSQL log error log. Output shows disk I/O errors before the service stopped. Victor, that explains it. The disk errors were causing I/O failures, which made SQL Server crash. Our disk repair fixed the underlying issue. Mia, thoughtfully, so one problem caused another. If we had just started the SQL service without fixing the disk, it probably would have crashed again. Victor, exactly. That's why systematic troubleshooting is so important. Now, let's verify that the payroll application is working. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01 PowerShell, command testnet connection, computer name localhost, port 1433. Output shows the connection is successful. Victor, SQL Server is listening on its default port. We should be good to go. Scene 5. The complexity crucible, error handling. Mia's phone rings. It's the finance director again. Mia, after the call, they're still having trouble connecting to the payroll app on their workstations. Victor, the SQL Server is running, but there might be firewall issues. Let's check the Windows firewall status on the server. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01 netch add firewall show all profiles. Output shows the firewall is active and blocking some connections. Victor, the domain profile should allow SQL connections, but looks like it's blocking them. Let's fix that. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV01 netch add firewall add rule name equals SQL Server, DR equals an action equals allow protocol equals TCP local port equals 1433. Mia, that's a complex command. Can you break it down? Victor, we're adding a firewall rule that has the name SQL Server, applies to inbound connections, DR equals in, allows the traffic, action equals allow, for TCP protocol. On the local port 1433, SQL Server's default port. Mia, got it. But what if there are other issues? How do we find them? Victor, good question. In complex troubleshooting, we often need to handle errors and try multiple approaches. This is where understanding command line error handling becomes crucial. Let's talk about error codes and error handling. When a command fails, it returns an error code. We can use this to make decisions in our scripts. Mia, like the conditional processing you showed earlier? Victor, exactly. Let's write a more comprehensive troubleshooting script. I'll show you how to handle errors and make decisions based on the results.
So this is the script. Okay, what is this script exactly? This script, remote server troubleshooting script. This script performs comprehensive diagnostic on a remote server created by Victor and Mia. So here, get server name as input, enter server name to troubleshoot, check if the server is online. This will issue a ping command. Try to reach it via known good server. So first he tried to ping it. He will not succeed, so he will try to. So I ping it from the IT workstation. He failed for the ping, so he will ping it from another server, like from the file server to ping the server itself. Okay, so this is through WinRS. Okay, and then check disk status. So this is checking the disk status of the payroll server. So this is what we have done in the previous steps, but all in one script. Okay, and seems to be more complex. And if there is error, he will schedule for a reboot, check past, check critical services on the server. What are the critical services? He will check for SQL Server service and Windows Server updates, and spooler, print spooler, and Landman server. This is, I think, related to the network. Okay, so I think Landman server, this is if you can reach the server shares or something. I think Landman server, let me check. I think Landman server, this is called, I have a service like that. Just wait for a moment. I think if I go to services, so let me go to services. There is something called Landman server. I know exactly this is related to the network. Landman server, it's not called Landman, it's called another name, something called like I think it is related to, this is network or something. I remember the name exactly. Landman server, Landman server. I think it is related to the network. Okay, let me remember what is the name. So Landman server is the service name. It's not. Can I go there and see if there is? We can add something? We cannot add action. We cannot add remove tools. Let's try to add. So all of them are added. Okay, I think one of the Landman server, this is, I think, related to network connectivity. Okay, the Landman server, it is related to the network connectivity. So I think this is very, very critical. Let me try to, what is the service name for Landman server? Not the service name, what is the display name? Display name for Landman server service. Let's, is server. So okay, this is the name of the service. It's called server. So here you go. This is the service. It supports file, print, and so name pipeline sharing over the network for this computer. If the service is stopped, these functions will be unavailable. If the service is disabled, any service that explicitly depend on it will fail. So this is very important for file and print sharing. Okay, file and print sharing. So uh, this is very critical if you need to share something on the server. And pipeline, and actually the pipeline, I think he is referring to SQL sharing. So I think this is also important for clients to connect to the SQL server. So this is very critical service. So if we go there and try to see the the rest of the script, so he will see if they are running or not, and then he will start them, and then he will check for system resources if there is any resource or excessive system resource usage, and check for recent errors, check firewall status. So all of these, or this script is a combined script for all of the steps that they have done before. Okay, all of them are in one script. So I think this is what he is talking about. Okay, so let's read from here.
Victor, this script contains several key command line concepts. Error handling with percent, error level percent. Conditional execution with if/else statements. Command chaining for both sequential and conditional operations. Service management and monitoring. Mia, studying the script, this is really comprehensive. I see how you're checking if the server responds to ping first, then trying through another server if that fails. Victor, exactly. Error handling. Jumping through an intermediate handling is critical in remote administration. When you can't see what's happening, your scripts need to be smart enough to detect and respond to problems. Mia, and I like how it checks multiple services and can start them if they're not running. Victor, let's run this against our payroll server to see what else might need attention. Copy. C:\scripts /remote troubleshoot.bat. At the prompt, they enter payroll SRV01 and watch as the script runs through its checks. Victor, as the script runs, one of the most powerful concepts in command line administration is knowing how to interpret return codes. Every command returns a code. 0 typically means success. Anything else indicates an error. Mia, that's why you're checking percent, error level percent in the script? Victor, exactly. It's how our script knows whether a command succeeded or failed. This is basic error handling, and it's essential for robust scripts. The script completes, showing a few warnings, but no critical issues. Mia, checking her phone. The finance team says everything is working now. They can access the payroll system. Victor, excellent. Let's do one more check to ensure stability. Copy. Winners are payroll, SRV0, one PowerShell, command get event log name application, entry type error, newest 5 format table time generated, source, message, AutoZyze. Output shows no recent application errors. Victor, looks like we've fully resolved the issue. The disk errors were causing SQL Server to fail, and the firewall was blocking connections even after we fixed the disk and restarted SQL.
So I think here is summarizing the situation, but again, I don't think that not pinging a server from my workstation and then pinging it from another server succeed. That means that the disk error is the issue, or the disk error is the cause of not pinging it. So I think maybe need to modify its statement, or Victor, they should check their firewall, because there was the problem from they cannot ping the server because their firewall was blocking it. So this can be logical, and it's actually a very very intelligent step to ping it from another server just to make sure that the cause or it's actually not reachable from any place and my firewall is not the issue. So here is saying that I think, but actually, I don't know if he pinged it from his workstation and Maya. Maybe the problem is was Maya laptop. Okay, so anyway, so this is a good one. It's a good thing to ping from different nodes to make sure that the server is not reachable at all. The problem was there was disk errors, and they were the issue for. Uh, not the SQL server is not running, and by fixing the disk errors and starting the SQL Server service and the firewall, putting some firewall rules so uh, to be able to let the finance team to connect to the server again. This is good, and I think maybe the problem was that the firewall was blocking the ping. Okay, anyway, so this is a very very good case. I think it need to be tweaked a little bit, but I think this is very very good one. Let's continue with the case and see how we will create a monitoring solution. Let's see how this will be done.
Scene 6. The integration, creating a monitoring solution. The crisis resolved. Victor and Mia take a moment to breathe. Mia, sipping fresh coffee. That was intense, but I learned so much. I can see why you're such a fan of command line administration. Victor, the command line gives you precision and power that GUIs often lack. And for remote administration, it's often more reliable and efficient. Mia, what if we create something to monitor for these issues before they cause outages? Could we use command line tools for that? Victor, absolutely. In fact, let's create a monitoring script that we can schedule to run regularly. This will check our critical servers and alert us to potential issues before they become problems.
So let's see the server monitoring script. Here also, this is a script to monitor critical servers and services, sending alerts for any issue created by Vector and Maya. Log file location, they will log what is happening during the implementation of the script. To see logs, he will make a directory if it's not there, and then rem list of servers to monitor. Okay, the payroll server, the file server, maybe the DC and the application server, a lot of servers to monitor. Rem monitor each server, check if the server online by pinging each one of these server, check disk space for each one of these servers, and see the free space on each I think free space for each partition on each server, and then he's giving us some things. For example, if it is lower than 10%, he will give us a warning. Okay, and then checking critical services like Windows Update, Spooler, and Landman server for all servers, for payroll server, for web server, for domain controller, for application server, and then check them if they are running. Okay, if they are not running, I think he will run them or will start them. Okay, and then we can continue. Check system resources, see if CPU is too high, above 90%, I think he will send an email, I think, or he will warn us, and I think he will send an email for sure. And check for recent system errors to check the event log for the recent 5 system errors. All of this will be logged, and then all of this will be sent at the end to the IT email. Okay, send notification if errors were found, so and so. And at the end, this is a simple script that will do everything actually. Very, very simple one. If you go and continue the reading of the problem,
Victor, this script monitors our critical servers for online status, ping, disk space, critical services, both common and server-specific, system resources, CPU and memory, recent system errors. If it finds any issues, it logs them and sends an email alert. Mia, this is perfect for proactive monitoring. How will we schedule it to run automatically? Victor, we'll use the task scheduler. The command line way to do this would be copy tasks/create/tn server monitoring /tr c:\/scripts/server monitor bat/sc hourly/mo1/sd midnight/ru system/rl highest. This creates a scheduled task that runs our monitoring script every hour with the highest privileges. Mia, thoughtfully, we could also create a version that runs different checks at different intervals. Some things need checking every hour, but others maybe just once a day. Victor, good thinking. Command line monitoring gives us that flexibility. We can create multiple scheduled tasks with different scripts for different monitoring needs. Mia, I'm seeing how this all fits together. The command line gives us building blocks that we can combine in powerful ways. Victor, exactly. And what we've learned today goes beyond just fixing the payroll server. You now understand the fundamentals of remote command line administration that you can apply to countless scenarios.
So this is the case, okay, of today concerning how we can use remote tools to do a lot of things. As we can see here that Victor and Maya have already made a lot of things using remote commands like pinging, like checking disk, like doing a lot of things. And the seven or the part. Okay, just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. I need to let's see how much time we have. This is 1 and 7 hours. Actually, the case is very good, but I need to give him something or uh, to do something here. Uh, Let me give him this question. Okay, if we go uh, uh, server workstation, but I can connect remotely using to ping and okay, let's go and tell him this was not correct as the disk errors will not lead to making ping uh, not to not lead to making ping unsuccessful if the opposite explain your point of view. Okay, so he's talking about, you are absolutely right. So this point was technical inaccuracy in the dialogue. Disk errors could not typically cause network connectivity failure like failed pings, as you correctly noted. In the sluggish application server scenario, the server was responding to ping requests, which showed the network stack was operating properly and basic OS functions were working. These errors were found would explain slow application response, data query failures or timeouts, high I/O wait times, system resource bottlenecks, application crash or hangs. But they wouldn't typically cause network unreachability. The network stack operates at a different layer than the disk subsystem. So even a server with severe disk problems would still usually respond to the basic network request like ping as long as the operating system is still running. A more technical, accurate statement for Maya should have been disk errors that explains why the applications are running so slowly. Or disk errors, no wonder users are experiencing such long wait times. Thanks for pointing out this inconsistency. Technical accuracy is important in troubleshooting scenarios. So this is the case. So we can benefit from this scenario uh, uh, to see that maybe the case that the problem was with the server that uh, there was SQL problems, and this SQL problems was during to or according to disk errors. Okay, so actually, as I said before, Victor was intelligent enough to know maybe the ping was not successful from his workstation because a firewall issue, so he tried to ping it from another server. Okay, but actually reaching the point that the disk error was the problem, uh, it's not that logic. Okay, we can just bypass it. Okay, and see the whole situation or see the whole dialogue was perfect from my point of view, very rich, very logic, except for this point, but actually very good learning dialogue, and actually I am learning a lot from this kind of dialogues. So I think in the upcoming video we will discuss, I have a lot of scenarios, so let me show you also the other scenario that we will discuss with God will in the upcoming video. So let's go and show you another case, or the case that will go further. Okay, here you go. This is the case of the mystery network traffic. Okay, so this is another situation how we can use remote tools to investigate a security issue. Okay, to investigate a security issue. So this is a case by Claude also, so we can discuss it. And actually, I asked Gemini to create also uh, something like this. Okay, we can see, for example, here you have some characters like Maria and Taylor. So here Maria is the senior and Taylor is the junior. Okay, and with different another situation. Okay, so I think we can stop at that or at that point and discuss it in the upcoming videos. God will. Hope this video is informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.